That versus symbol is way cooler than the one that I'm using in my Notability app. I want to get that one. That's a pretty, it's got the cool silver thing spinning around it. Ladies and gentlemen, bottom right-hand corner from Team Acer. Managed to get her team up 1-0. See if she can do it here in another PVZ. It is going to be Scarlet. Scarlet's going to be facing off a player a little bit different than Bishu, but still on the same team. From Dignitas, also clad in teal, it is Dream.
That's right. So Acer squad team to the max. Cool guys. Acer Scarlet is up now. She already has taken one win. We know she has the ability to just, you know, stomp a lot of people flat. So anyone from Dignitas is certainly going to need to be on their game. And they're going to need to be prepared for Zerg players, because if Scarlet goes down, you have players like Blind Nurtio that are still in reserve that are obviously at the top of their game right now.
Yeah.
So Acer, I of course, you know, I'll just put it out there. I'll be the controversial person. I think they can diversify their races a little bit. They could stand too. But for now, they do have a very strong lineup of Zergs. It's just pretty easily exploited by someone who's super, super, super competent in the versus Zerg matchup, which has happened in the past.
No, it's, I mean, definitely the case. If we want to talk a little bit about Scarlet here, PVZ seemed really on point that last game. If we remember that Overlord that was by the third, it scouted the Overlord, or it scouted the third go down. Then it floated over to the left. It saw the lack of or it saw the timing of the two gases from Dream, because they did go down actually after that base. So Scarlet had so much information there, and then came in with that Overseer at the perfect time. Saw the gate was going down. Went, "You're rushing me." Here's the thing. Right now, she doesn't actually see these pylons.
That's right, but her spawning pool's finishing up, and those are going to be produced. We're going to see Zerglings produce from that momentarily, and these Zerglings are going to catch the pylons as they make their way down. Had these pylons been built back here, they could have actually evaded vision for a while. First photon cannon's coming up, second one on the way too, and we'll see if Scarlet has enough to deal with these, because Dream wanted to put on the pressure right now.
Well, I mean, Scarlet made 6 slings, but that's actually not enough here. The pylon's going to take some time to kill.
Oh, and she's just going to run right on by and head over to Dream's base.
I like that choice a lot more. I mean, yeah, that hatchery is forfeit at this point. The thing about those pylons, guys, is like, they're going to take so long to kill. The cannon finishes. The cannon kills all your lings. Then you're like dead. Scarlet's just going to go for a really, really big attack here. And it's probably going to get, she's probably going to get these lings into the main. This is going to get interesting.
All right, so now this photon cannon, well, can't quite reach some of these units, but everything's coming up inside of the main now, and Dream has the response prepared, and that's pulling all of your probes. 2 photon cannons back at home for him, and they'll start to expand here in just a second, but he has to save up to that 400 resources, of course.
I mean, that was completely worth it. That photon cannon actually looks as if, I mean, it is going to be taken out by this Queen on the high ground, so that's a small advantage, but at what cost, Kevin?
Well, Scarlet's she's already putting up a base over here, and this is actually coming up well before the Nexus has started for Dream. So in the grand scheme of things, I mean, he canceled 2 structures at the cost of about 60 resources, a photon cannon and a pylon. Lost 150 resources on the photon cannon, 100 resources on each pylon. So we're talking about a total of about a 500 resource investment. A much later Nexus, and the Zerg player, yeah, she lost 75 minerals right away, but she's got bases number 2 and 3 coming down at a pretty appropriate time. I mean, nothing's really out of the ordinary, so I don't mind Scarlet's position out of this.
All right, well, looks like Dream. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's 2 gases. I only saw 1 in the production tab. So standard stuff coming out besides that cannon rush, of course, which actually I wouldn't call that quite unstandard. We'll be seeing what these players decide to do. Of course, it is cross positions on Entombed Valley, a map that's nice for Protosses to take thirds as we start moving into, you know, the later stages of the early game. Now we can discuss what really works on this map. And the reality is, well, sentries. Sentries are just absolutely phenomenal on Entombed Valley. It's a little bit dangerous moving out into the middle of the map if you're the Protoss player. It tends to be the Zerg playground. You get a lot of creep out there, especially if you're Scarlet, who's just phenomenal at spreading that. And then the Protoss player, you know, you unless you're making like a pre-Broodlord timing push, a lot of it just comes down to using these banana hallways on the sides to you know, move around the map safely and really being well protected against counterattacks. Other than that, I mean, Scarlet, I mean, she's really got every option open from her end.
It looks like she may be a little bit worried about a big follow-up to this. She got her first and second gas a little bit earlier than normal.
Quick speed.
Yeah, at about 28 supply, so quick speed, maybe quicker layer too, so making sure that she's not going to die to some sort of, tricky all-in right away, that she prepares herself. Economy is going to come a little bit slower, but not the biggest deal in the world. There's Roach Horn, there's speed, everything hitting at about the right time. I'm really mostly curious, honestly, as to how Dream is going to follow this up. We see the Destructible Rocks being taken down. It looks like he's planning on taking a third. But that could expose himself to some quick tech out of Scarlet.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. This is a nice map for I actually like this map a lot more for taking fast thirds than Ohana even, especially because Dream has that cannon taking out the rocks, which is just so convenient. Dream doesn't even have to make units in order to do this. So there it goes. Rocks are going to fall down. We're going to see gateways go up as a wall-off mechanism here. And Scarlet isn't about to run in with a bajillion Zerglings, so this is going to work out just great for Dignitas' Protoss player Dream.
Okay, well, double evolution chamber, more third and fourth gas coming up, and layer tech is a good portion of the way done now for Scarlet, so she's going to have quite the ability to tech here in a minute. We'll see if she decides to prioritize infestors like she did in game number 1, just decide to get those out a bit earlier, make sure that she can do a bit of damage with those. But Dream now, everything's looking pretty safe and secure for him. His economy has, it's a little bit down. He's on 39 probes to his opponent's 58 drones, so Scarlet, she's a little bit ahead there.
Yeah, but only by a small margin, and maybe not for long. Has Scarlet actually... Can we take a look at Scarlet's vision? I want to see if she scouted that third. She did have an Overlord in position, and she does know. And she actually saw the third pretty early on when it went down. You can see that black ball of extremely dense matter sitting in the middle.
That's right.
Needs to make its way out into a nexus.
I don't understand the science behind the Protoss warping mechanic, gotta say. But... wish we could tap into that sort of technology for us in normal life, though.
You know?
Is that what it is? It's just a 3D printer?
Yeah, it's really actually... I mean, somebody just built one. The military's using them now so that they don't have to buy parts from suppliers who are unreliable.
Yeah.
You implemented 3D printers.
3D printers, man. They are the future. Maybe that's the way we can eventually just clone ourselves. But it'd kind of be like the movie The Prestige. We just make copies of ourselves, and then like our past selves would just be in stasis tanks underneath the our houses, and that would just be creepy.
Is that what they were? I thought they were all the dead versions of him.
Yeah, well they are. He does die, but I don't know. Yes. So I'm just imagining like versions of ourselves just like constantly killed underneath.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Maybe
I thought you actually meant those were like live versions sitting in floating tanks. You know,
that would be
like
weird.
Genova from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm waiting to break out.
Yeah.
They actually want to come out and kill you so that they can be the only, whatever the main name of the main character in that was.
Yeah, I totally
Great
forgot.
movie,
I'm sure I'm going to get yelled at that.
If you guys haven't seen it, great movie, The Prestige. Also a great game getting ready to develop here as both players are now very, very heavily macro invested.
Hey, Andrew.
What? Oh my God.
What did Scarlet beat last time?
Well, we'll see if she can beat it this time.
Is that an 8-gate blink?
Yeah, it's the exact same build.
Yeah.
Pretty sure about that.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a couple more gateways now. I think I saw a couple more added on. All right, so this is going to be a 10-gate variety.
Even sneakier.
Yeah.
Let's actually just highlight the fact that Overlord has vision of the gases, I believe.
Will in a second.
Now it's going to be an Overseer.
There
we go. Was able to see no gases, so he's like, all right, I need to get in here and see WTF you're doing.
Well, sees the pylons up at the top and hasn't checked there. No, Scarlet, go up to the left. You can do it. You can do it.
That is just so incredibly well hidden. But sees the gateway timing here, which is actually very helpful, and sees no tech. So realizes I'm missing something. There's not enough money here.
Well, and Dream's going to alter this just a little bit. We saw Bishu decide to go after one that completely bypassed sentries. There are a few sentries out there to help buffer, to provide a little bit Guardian Shield, force field some units out, but all of these Stalkers are very clumped up, and Scarlet with some good control here should be able to fungal these over and over again.
Yep, Infested Terrans going to be spawning sentries. Goodbye. More Infested Terrans. Stalkers are going to blink out for a moment here, but I think that Scarlet's going to hold this a lot more definitively than last time. The Infestors are so much faster, Kevin.
Yeah, and Dream just put himself really far behind. Like we mentioned before, I like Scarlet's position coming out of that initial photon cannon harassment at the beginning. I don't think she took too much damage from it. She was able to establish a superior economy, and it's really just kind of showing itself right here as Dream's not really mounting all that much of an assault.
Yep. All right, well, that pushes over. Dream should just start teching and play some defense. Instead, he warps in 5 more Stalkers, which may have killed... They killed 2 Zerglings. All right, not bad.
Yeah.
This is actually a really bad position for Dream.
Look
Can't
at the
emphasize that
production
enough.
tabs right now for Scarlet. She's going up to Hive and Greater Spire the same time that this is happening. So she's taking virtually no damage. Last time we saw Bishu kill 27 workers. This time there's been 1 killed by Dream. And I think that was a scout.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it hit 3 minutes later. Scarlet had her infestors out. She had some Zerglings, made 70 or something, made an obnoxious quantity of Zerglings. Now, Dream is going to start teching and is going to the exact same path. I mean, it's basically like a worse version of Bishu versus Scarlet all over again. And by worse, I mean worse for a Protoss player.
It is, and we know it's got to be frustrating for him too, because this is a very difficult position to get out of. Greater Spire's coming up, and Scarlet can do the same thing she did last time. I mean, this is in Tomb Valley too. She can just take the bottom half of the map. That's 7 bases at her disposal, and she's already at Broodlord tech off of just 4, so now she can just pump gas into creating nothing but tier 3 tech units and keep her opponent pinned in. That's if she wants to delay. Honestly, she'll have the ability to kind of just move in and crush her opponent pretty soon.
Yeah, you know, Zerglings are just notoriously terrible for breaking down wall-offs, but Scarlet has so many of them. Why not? Why not throw a little bit up here, see if I can kill a Forge or something? She's going to, and that's really her goal here. Like, you're like, why is she attacking? She's never getting in there. Yes, that's true. But that Forge has some very valuable upgrades that will be canceled here in just a second. And then I think we're going to see Scarlet probably back off.
Right. All she wants to do is free up a little bit of additional supply, too. Actually running ahead with a lot of infestors. She's not even caring about going up into that top tech because it just must not really matter. These Corruptors, yes, they are. They're staging and waiting to be turned into Broodlords as that Greater Spire finishes up in a few seconds. And it may look like Scarlet just threw away a lot there, but it doesn't matter.
She's going to kill everything.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. She has the ability to morph into a bunch of Broodlords. She's on so many bases right now, and her economy is so well developed. I mean, look at the economy for her at the moment. She can throw away, she can just continue to throw away things over and over again.
I mean, that was actually a great engagement overall for Scarlet. Look at the end result for Dream. 4 Stalkers, 2 Archons. He's got nothing left. She actually killed everything that Dream had.
Yeah. Canceled a critical upgrade, broke down the wall, freed up supply for these 5 Broodlords that are morphing in. I mean, really, everything she wanted to do was just done. And look at the way she's spreading creep through the middle of the map, too. It's going in all directions. Multiple creep tumors here up at the front, so really cool stuff.
Scarlet is just so on top of this game right now. Dream, well, all right. You know what? You like a wide variety of games. Let's do some theory crafting here.
Okay.
How can Dream win this?
Well, because he's about to die because of this push coming out. No, I'm sorry. I'm being a little too doom and gloom again. Dream certainly could do.
I don't think he can push.
No, I mean, everything gets pinned down in the middle. The Broodlords are sitting above. The couple of Archons are going to go down. Well, I can tell you in our theory crafting session that this is not the path to victory. That's GG. Dream does not manage to get that 10 gates Blink Stalker build to work, and Scarlet takes the 2nd game in a row.
Funny, Kevin. It's funny. All right, guys. Well, that takes it to 2-0 for Team Acer, Team Zerg, Team Squad. They're currently up. We may not see all 5 of their players. We were saying it was a definite possibility, you know, if the game went pretty late or if Acer was up to lose. But, well, Scarlet doing a little bit of piggybacking right now. And by piggybacking, I mean piggybacking others.
Yeah,
She's just carrying.
She's been working out the shoulders, making sure that she can carry the rest of her team right now because I don't really need anyone else for the time being. But coming up next for Dignitas, actually with another Protoss player. It's going to be Bling, so a guy who's posted some pretty good results recently. Great player, and we'll see if he has what it takes to kind of turn this around. Scarlet's on a roll though. We're going to run to a commercial break, and when we get back, it's time for game number 3.